Warhammer 3, a Total War series. A game where you can play as an old lady, disgruntled blind man, and whatever this is. Yeah. In today's video, I'll be playing as Ghorst, an undead McDonald's employee who found himself in the possession of the world's worst tasting pickles, leading him to employ his own company of merry men to distribute free burgers to the rest of the world. We start our campaign in a nice little corridor
Unleash the gift of undeath!
Yep, thanks bud. Between the rats, ogres, and the disgruntled blind people. For this campaign, I'm only going to use zombies and the corpse cards, as with Helm's passive, he can essentially never die. Unless of course there are missiles involved. Why do humans have to do this? Or chaos force. Holy shit! I'm dead! Now, for some reason, I thought the first battle was going to be easy, as most of them usually are, but for some reason, these rats didn't want to attack me. So they just sat there, in a line, watching my Witch King run back and forth trying to taunt them. Now, they did eventually start running after me, but only with one unit, which ended up running away. And then they came back. And then they were running away again. I had no choice. I had to move everybody up. So I did, very slowly.
Swiftly!
After what was about a 2.5 minute walk, I was finally clumped up and ready for the fight. But what I did not realize was that the Skaven were kind of timid. When they had finally surrounded me, some of my employees were falling asleep. So I had to do something about it. There's only one guy left, come on. Slap him! Get him! Oh. That'll wake him up. Oh, here comes the Nightburn. Here comes the Witch Knight. So after an apparent close victory, which didn't make sense because I still had more units than him, I started to move on to other things. Reenacting the 300 scene from that movie. Being a straight menace. And being absolutely destroyed. Now, the one tactic that works with this is hiding in trees. Yep. Hiding in trees. And the reason for this is because large units cannot move through trees that easily, nor can they throw or fire things in it. They're just shooting the trees. Now, without further ado, let's get down to the fight itself. As you can see, I start off with all of my units in one great big line. So what I have to do is stack them all in one spot. And this takes a while. At the start of the fight, the Skaven used the Menace Below ability, which summons a unit of Skaven slaves behind my own unit. It didn't really bother me because rats versus humans, well, undead ones, you know where it goes. They were able to get some good damage off with their warp throwers, but not a lot considering the fact that they were primarily, again, hitting the trees. Now, this was an absolute win on my part because then they started to run in to melee with a complete bag of whatever strange juice they put into their flamethrowers these days. I found it's really best not to ask. Anyway, the rest of the battle was pretty uneventful, as you can imagine, because, well, look at us. We're zombies, two carts, and we're surrounded by rats. Yeah. If anything, I almost went AFK, which I pretty much should have because I essentially just sat here and did nothing aside from press a B buttons and wait for the timer to run out. 15 minutes. Due to the lack of other units in my army, this is pretty much the rest of my battles, for about 3.5 hours. Until, of course, I came across the one and only Chaos Dwarves. Oh dear. Dresweth Yashin. Okay. Yeah. I mean, his units aren't that good, really. Yeah, you know what? I'll give it a go. Yeah, no, this terrain is fine. Little did I know, he has an army ability that just straight wipes pretty much anyone. Fun. I should have known trees without leaves would not hide me. Oh god. Well. Yeah, there's not much I can do actually. I did not realize that he could do that. What? I mean, it's entertainment, I guess. Like, I'm not gonna concede this battle because surely he can't do it again that quickly. I mean, even if he does do it, I'm pretty much dead anyway. But let's see, did he get any? He didn't get any. Eh? What? How does that ability even work? Well, I'll heal this unit. Yay! I'm getting some healing. I'm pretty much just gonna. Yeah, no, I'm gonna concede defeat, but I'm not going to concede. I'm not going to concede defeat. Oh. Yeah, that was bound to happen. On definitely legit scum save later, I faced Kugath Plaguefather. Now, this boy, this thicken right here, is literally too fat to die. Probably due to the teeth, but yeah. But we had a forest on our side, so if anything, this was looking pretty good. Alright, so boys are ready. They're in their thieveless forest once again, waiting on Kugath. In waiting for Kugath to find me, I found one important thing. Autumn. Now, it took them a while to find me, but eventually the flying wasp riders, I guess you could call them, found me, and the rest of the army was alerted. It still did take them a while to get to me, but, well, at least they found me. This meant that the fat man himself was also on his way. As quickly as a man the size of 3 double-deckers could. To start his assault, he threw what could only be described as KFC special burger sauce, dousing a majority of my units in an icky substance that should only be found under the most unclean fryers. So, he murdered him. This wasn't before, however, discovering that I did 200,000 damage. Holy shit, 200,000 damage. Which isn't unheard of with Helm and Ghorst, but that's a lot. After handing out multiple unsubscribe from live subscriptions, we gave Kugath what was pretty much described as, well, you'll see here. His leadership is minus 55. Minus 55 leadership is essentially the equivalent of being told that your fly is undone and then being punched in the face. Multiple times with a foot. Which is what we did. It's just, it wasn't a very clean foot and it was mankly and it was undead. And it was probably Kugath's own foot. Because why not? Hitting somebody with your own foot is pretty humiliating. Anyway, our next set of fights were against the lizards, which meant a lot of sitting there and hoping that their, well, rather larger lizards, like this boy here, would not cause too much trouble. Which they did. They very much. For what was the entirety of the next 26 minutes, we kind of tried to beat up some lizards with essentially what was akin to some pool noodles with spoons fashioned into knives, but they were plastic. It was not fun. No, it wasn't fun. After about 35 minutes, it was finally time for the ancient crocodiles to realize that these noodles actually started to hurt, and they ran. We won. We won. Yeah. Yeah, so I just left it. And that's where I'll leave it. Till the next episode!